Okay, so in my previous lecture, uh, we have discussed what are the checklist for the different categories of the work, whatever the work that you are going to execute on the site, that is on construction site. Still, we are going to revise some part as a part of our discussion, so that you will have some idea about the previous sessions, those who have missed out. So checklist, some frequency it is enlisted here in this particular presentation. Checklist for the site layout. At one time only we have to prepare the checklist for the site layout. Now what that checklist includes, that has been there in our next few, sorry, in our upcoming PPTs. Then checklist for the inspection of excavation, we require one time. Checklist for the anti-termite treatment for every segment that is to be prepared. Then checklist for the inspection of backfilling uh, per that we require one. We are going to check that backfilling work at one time for 100 250 meter square area. Then a river inspection and dispatch checklist for every lot dispatched from the yard or that is been supplied from any supplier. We have to prepare the checklist for the same. Then checklist for the brick masonry for everyday work, whatever the work we are going to complete in a span of 8 hours, we have to prepare the checklist. What are this content of this checklist? I know somebody is getting the question, sir, what is the checklist you are telling us? If you have missed out previous my lecture, otherwise I hope everyone is familiar with this checklist and what are the contents which are been there in our checklist. That has been already discussed. Just I'm revising very quickly. So checklist for the concrete pour card for every, so before every concrete pour we have to prepare, we have to check our checklist. Then for post concrete inspection report for every concrete that you are going to pour for every 50 meter cube. But in this again we have to be very specific for concrete casting for every whatever the concrete you have prepared, fresh concrete, for every 5 meter cube also you can go for the test. Okay, because that is mandatory and that is with respect to your site conditions also. Then checklist for the cement mortar plaster, checklist for the paintings, checklist for the wooden metal window frame fixing, one checklist per floor. Okay, so we have started this particular part. We have begun with this checklist for the site layout. Now, what the things that you need to focus on when you are going to execute a site work? Okay, these things will help you to start your project. So, first thing, what you are going to focus on, whether the drawing is checked and approved. You have to put your remark yes, no, or not applicable. Whatever the remarks that you are having, then reference points are established or not. Well, whatever the reference point that you are going to take using auto level, using total station, whatever it may be. Okay, you are going to set the TBM, na? So temporary benchmark, serial number 5, already it has been there. So whether that TBM is established or not, then all the boundary points and all important points are established on the ground and traverse is closed. Okay, so whatever the traverse or the layout that you have prepared, you have to close that particular layout. Okay, by inculcating or by implementing all the boundary points. Okay, you know the how much error that has been there in your traverse. I think in survey you have studied that error which has been occurred in the traversing. Okay, you need to complete that particular error. Then all the distances and heights are properly measured. So this is the points that you need to focus or that you need to consider whenever you are doing the work of site layout. Okay, then conclusion remarks by the engineer in charge. It may be you yourself, that is junior engineer. Then for contractor there is one engineer, for client engineer then project manager. So by using these three authorities that has been approved. Okay, next checklist, that is next point that you have to consider at the time of excavation is nothing but whether center line is established and excavation is done as per the dimensions. Okay, whatever the original dimensions which have been specified in your drawings. Then original ground level, whether these dimensions are approved as per architectural plan or not. Okay. The next point that you are going to focus on is nothing but the depth of excavation, whether it is checked and foundation strata verified and confirmed by the site in charge, that is RL of the excavation. Then whether excavation is complete as per the requirements. Then you have to put your observations in yes, no, or not applicable in that particular manner. See, these are very specified and simplified checklist. That is the points that you have to consider whenever you are doing the work of excavation, whenever you are doing the work of site layout. This will definitely help you whenever you are going while working on the site. Okay. So please keep the utmost priority and utmost importance regarding this, whatever the lectures we have conducted last past 7 to 8 lectures. Okay, because this part will help you, that will be beneficial for you whenever you are working on the site. Okay, the next part, that is checklist for the anti-termite treatment. In this, what points we are going to consider: whether drawing is checked and approved, then base to receive the treatment is completed and approved, then chemical is checked and it is as per the specification, then quantity of the chemicals as per the area of the component and application rate. So how much quantity of chemical that you apply, it is not like that you have taken some lump sum quantity and just you are going to apply it without any specific concentration or specific proportion. That should not happen. Then rod holes in the required spacing that are done and chemical poured whether required as per specification or not. Then soil tamped back in the space or after the treatment. Whether excavated material is used or whether material is brought, what kind of filling you are doing. Okay, just okay, where these forms are available. No, the checklist are not available on every project. uh, I have included it, and I have taken this checklist from uh, the that points I have mixed together. That is from my site also, that is from internet also, and from whatever the best site. I have attended one program where we got the training of all the checklist in my when I was working on the site. Then such kind of presentations and such kind of checklist they are giving us the knowledge. Okay, it is not any standard format of the checklist. Okay, some common parameters that has been there, I just want to share with everyone. Okay, what are the things that you want to understand, or you should have with you? That is what I want to discuss, and that is why I have included this part. Okay, checklist is according to the site. Okay, whatever the site type of construction you are going to go. Okay, with respect to your construction, you can prepare your own checklist. Parameters will remain same. Okay, please clear it, but some contents will definitely vary. Okay, some parameters will definitely vary, that will according to the site. Okay, that for irrigation work, definitely our checklist will be different. But parameters which are related with the footing and foundation work, these are common parameters that I am going to discuss with you. Huh? Okay, so if you don't have, I don't think there is any standard format. If uh, on internet you may get, but that is with respect to the particular site. Okay, you may get any formats for the checklist, but that is for the particular sites only. Okay, so these are the some common formats that I want to share with everyone. Yes, I hope this is clear. So then test on filling materials such as maximum dry density, then your proctor density are checked as per the required or as per the tender. See, uh, in my previous few lectures also, I have focused on the MDD, OMC and proctor density test. This is very basic test that is related to soil. and that you need to carry it out on the filling material as well as whatever the soil which is present on your particular site. That is maximum dry density and proctor density. Okay, you can do it by core cutter or sand replacement method, or whatever any method that you have gone through in your geotechnical engineering. Okay, now I can share my experience. I have handled one now in the last recently I have handled one project of one commercial project I have handled, and over that we have conducted, me and our Sapnil Patil sir have conducted this dry density test, proctor density test. We have carried out all the soil parameters for that particular site. Okay, so these are essential one, because unless and until you conduct that particular test, your bills are not getting sanctioned, and you don't get the approval to start your project also. Okay, so these are some essential tests. So always remember these, whatever the test that you have gone through in your every subject, it may be in your transportation, concrete technology, geotechnical, and so on. Okay, these four subjects will take a major part. uh, So this, whatever the subjects you have gone through, whatever the test that you are gone through, please keep a watch, and please go thoroughly for that particular test. Okay, 2 or 3 days before, so I have conducted one test, that is bitumen extraction test, that has been required to determine the quantity of binder content. There is one road project, government work is going on, so I got that particular work of testing the material. Okay, checking the quantity of the bitumen in the whatever the bituminous mix that they are using. So if you do it nicely, if you are having a good hand on doing these experiments, then definitely that will help you while working on the site also. Because when you work on the site, we are not restricted ourselves just to execute the work. Okay, please be remember, there is one special category of the work, we called it as quality control engineer. Okay, it is working, it is there in our site, and that quality control engineer is nothing but a civil engineer who is expert, who is more expert in carrying out all such tests and giving the results. Okay, and he's just checking the quality of the material, quality of the work which is going on for that particular site. So that is one again position that you can grab, that is quality QC engineer, we called it as, or QE, that is quality engineer. Okay, it is his responsibility, whatever the material that is being going to use on the site, or whatever the concrete that is being casted on that particular site, that particular concrete or any other material that should get approved, that should be for satisfying all the IS requirements. That means this concrete you have casted, and suppose it's a M20 concrete, and at the end of 28 days it should satisfy the compressive strength of the concrete should be more than 20 MPa, 26 MPa. Okay, whatever the targets mean strength you have decided, okay, that should be more than that. So quality engineer is one position. So always remember, our engineers, civil engineers are not dealing with the only junior engineer. We don't have only one position with us. Okay, your recruitment may be for your junior engineer, maybe for quality. Now Ultratech, they are having special recruitments for the fresher engineers who are only dealing in inspecting the quality of the cement. Okay, they are having their specialized labs, Ultratech Cements. Okay, so quality control engineer designation we are having. uh, if you want, our Algi sir is there. I think you are familiar with them. You know them very well. Okay. Sagar Algi sir, who is previously working with our institute, now presently is working in Ultratech Cements. So he's the engineer over there. So you can ask him what kind of work which has been carrying out over that particular company. So nothing, just basic tests which are related with the cement and quality testing, or some chemical analysis of the cement that is going to happen over that particular project. Okay, so don't restrict yourself only for the making as or for designing as a junior engineers. Okay, we are having variety of the positions that you can grab in your future after gaining some kind of experience. Okay, every position requires some experience that you need to understand at first. Okay, so coming back to the point, Filling is done in our footings. We are going to check whether filling is done in layers, and each layer is thoroughly watered and consolidated by the approved method. So as I said earlier, there may be some rolling and compaction that you are going to do, and for every compaction that you need to calculate the percentage compaction. Okay, whether the percentage compaction should be more than 95% or not. Okay, if that is not been approved by the client engineer, now who is going to inspect this work? Whether you have carried out maximum dry density or Proctor density, we are having the client engineer for this. That client engineer and that third party audit, third party engineer, uh, he will check whether you have carried out MDD or PD or percentage compaction that you are going to get from this particular test. Okay, then filling is completed and uniformly dressed and level. Then soil bearing capacity or say bearing capacity at different levels of the PCC. Okay, so bearing capacity is nothing but we are calculating the compressive strength of concrete if you are using concrete, and we are going to determine the say bearing capacity of the soil if you are using the soil. Okay, so this is the format for the checklist for the inspection of footings and PCC. Then next is checklist for the river inspection and dispatch. River inspection, that means whatever the reinforcement that you are going to use it. Okay. So bar mark, whether bar mark is B1, B2, B3, whatever yeah, you can give it with respect to the your structural elements. Then diameter of the bar 10 mm, 12 mm, 16 mm, 20 mm, up to 70 mm bar we can use it on our construction site. Then type of bar, whether it's a mild steel, that is MS bar, or whether it is TMT, that is thermomechanically treated bar. Then number of bars, then cutting length. Okay, whether it is you have cut it bar at a length of L by 4, L by 3. Now you are learning that part in your design of concrete structure. I hope this part you are having. Then remarks, specific remarks for your particular site. Then checklist for the brickwork. Brickwork, very important. That is drawing, whether it is checked and approved, yes or no. Then reference line for the brickwork, whether it is established and checked. रेफरन्स लाईन्स म्हणजे तो जो ब्रिकवर्कचं जो काम करतो ना, काम करणारा जो माणूस असतो तो तुम्ही बघितला असेल वळंबा लावलेला असतो. ठीक आहे, आणि ती लाईन दोरी असते. लाईन दोरी म्हटलं जातं, तुम्ही वळंबा म्हणा किंवा प्लंब म्हणा तुमच्या भाषेमध्ये. ती दोरी लावून ती रेफरन्स लाईन चेक केली जाते, त्याची जो ऑफसेट टाकला जातो. ठीक आहे, तो वॉल साठी असेल किंवा तुमच्या कॉलम साठी असेल. ठीक आहे, त्यानंतर त्याची ओरिएंटेशन म्हणा किंवा अलाइनमेंट त्याची चेक केली जाते. ठीक आहे, थोडक्यामध्ये. कारण तुमची कॉलमची पोझिशन आणि तुमची वॉल हे एक्झॅक्टली हॅक होत आहेत का एकमेकांना, हे चेक केलं जातात. ठीक आहे, सो बेस बिलो द ब्रिकवर्क इज अप्रूव्ड और नॉट. त्यानंतर आरसीसी सरफेस ऑल अराउंड द ब्रिकवर्क इज प्रॉपरली हॅक. मी जसं तुम्हाला सांगितलं, कॉलम अँड ब्रिक वॉल कनेक्शन वेदर इट इज प्रॉपरली हॅक्ड और नॉट, इट इज व्हेरी इम्पॉर्टंट. अदरवाइज तुम्ही लात मारून सुद्धा भिंत पाडू शकता. ठीक आहे, जे मूव्हीज मध्ये वगैरे तुम्ही बघता. ठीक आहे, कॉलम बाजूला राहतोय, बीम बाजूला राहतोय, तुमची भिंत अलगद बाजूला पडते. ठीक आहे, तसं होता कामा नये. देअर शुड बी प्रॉपर हॅकिंग ऑफ युअर आरसीसी कॉलम अँड युअर ब्रिकवर्क. ओके, again in the brickwork, see the number of checklist, number of pointers, what points we have to highlight. Our necessary scaffolding is arranged and it is safe, whether the brick lots is tested and approved. Then sand is properly screened, washed, and it is free from the silt and organic material. Whatever the sand which you are going to use it for the making a cement mortar, that is 1:3 or 1:4 proportion, whatever it may be. That is the mortar that you are going to use it for the brickwork purpose only. ठीक आहे, जे वॉल पर्पज साठी जे तुम्ही सिमेंट मॉर्टर वापरताय त्यासाठी आहे ते. Then measuring boxes, then mixing the platform, tools and tackles are available or not. Mortar is prepared and used as per the specifications of the contract. As I said earlier, whatever been suggested in your contract, that is you are going for 1:3 proportion, or you are going for 1:4 proportion for the mortar, that you need to address and that you need to check whether it is as per the specification or not. Okay, then necessary arrangements like arrangements are made for the proper soaking of the bricks, and bricks are soaked fully or before use. Okay, Then brickwork is done complying the requirements of IS 2212. You have to check that. Then check for any opening in your shuttering work. Then wall alignment has to be verified with respect to the beam alignment. Very important parameter. Okay. अदरवाइज बीम सरकतोय, कॉलम सरकतोय किंवा वॉलची पोझिशन चुकते असं होतं कामा नये. जी अलाइनमेंट आहे, अलाइनमेंट ऑफ द कॉलम विथ रिस्पेक्ट टू द ब्रिक वॉल, alignment of the beam with respect to the brick wall, it should be verified with respect to your structural elements. Okay, that is alignment of wall with respect to column and beam position. It should be perfectly and exactly done. Okay, exactly executed. There should not be any error of 1 or 2 mm also. Okay, that is what the accuracy that your seniors are expecting from you. Okay, so that you need to focus on. Then concrete pour cuts, already we have discussed in our previous slide, so I'm not going to go in detail in that. So checklist for the post concrete inspection report. See the checklist: structure, name of the block, then location where you have put your concrete, then grade of concrete, then start of concreting, that is date and timing, finishing date of the de-shuttering when you have remove your shuttering work, date of inspection when you have checked, that is you can take a NDT test, a non-destructive testing using rebound hammer or ultrasonic pulse velocity. Nowadays we can have these two tests, because please remember, I will share one experience with you. You have gone through rebound hammer test. Everyone knows it very well. Okay, everyone knows it very well. But please remember my words. Rebound hammer test will only give you the idea about the surface hardness. Okay, hardness of only the top surface that you are having. Suppose a concrete block or a column is there. Okay, suppose the dimensions of the columns are 230 by 230. म्हणजे त्याची रुंदी जी आहे ती 230 आहे, त्याची लांबी 230 mm आहे. ठीक आहे, एक 9 बाय 9 इंचाचा कॉलम आहे. ठीक आहे, but if you hammer a rebound hammer, if you apply the rebound hammer on that particular column or on any particular slab structure or any particular beam structure, suppose एखादा बीम आहे ज्याची डेप्थ 450 mm आहे. ठीक आहे, किंवा 500 mm डेप्थ वाला तुमच्याकडे बीम आहे. 500 mm म्हणजे 20 इंच डेप्थ असलेला बीम आहे. ठीक आहे, our lecture is going to conclude in 10 minutes. Still we are having sufficient time. So what I am discussing, suppose we are having a beam of depth, suppose 450 mm. ठीक आहे, 450 म्हणजे 19 इंचाचा तुमच्या, सॉरी 18 इंचाचा तुमच्याकडे बीम आहे, 18 इंच डेप्थ असलेला. तुम्ही बीमच्या टॉपला तुमचा रिबाउंड हॅमर स्ट्रोक करता. ठीक आहे, अप्लाय करताय. रिबाउंड हॅमर लक्षात घ्या, द रिबाउंड हॅमर ओनली गिव्स यू द व्हॅल्यू of the hardness of the surface. Okay, whatever the top surface that you are having, and not the complete hardness of that particular structure. ठीक आहे, आता आजही आपण रिबाउंड हॅमरच वापरतो त्याची स्ट्रेंथ डिटरमाइन करण्यासाठी. ठीक आहे, परंतु कॉन्क्रीटच्या एखाद्या पोर्शनची स्ट्रेंथ जी इनिशियल किंवा जी एखाद्या एज ला जी टॉप सरफेसला जी स्ट्रेंथ असेल, कदाचित ती इंटरमिडिएट जो पोर्शन असेल त्या कॉन्क्रीट स्ट्रक्चरचा, कदाचित ती तेवढी स्ट्रेंथ इंटरमिडिएट पोर्शन मध्ये नसते. जर इंटरमिडिएट पोर्शन मध्ये कुठेतरी हानी कॉम्पिंग झालेलं असेल, कुठेतरी काहीतरी लॅप्स आहे, किंवा तिथे कॉन्क्रीटचा श्रिंकेज झालेला असेल, किंवा एखादा कॉन्क्रीटचा फेल्युअर झालेला असेल, एनी काइंड ऑफ फेल्युअर, तर ती स्ट्रेंथ तुम्हाला तिथे भेटत नाही. मग तुम्हाला काय वाटतं, नाही बाबा सर आम्ही कॉन्क्रीटचा ब्लॉक आहे आणि त्या कॉन्क्रीटच्या ब्लॉकवरती आम्ही रिबाउंड हॅमर हॅम्पर केलेला आहे, स्ट्रोक अप्लाय केलेला आहे आणि आम्हाला एवढी 30 MPa स्ट्रेंथ मिळालेली. पण ती स्ट्रेंथ इमॅजिन करा, कारण त्या रिबाउंड हॅमरचा जो स्ट्रोक अप्लाय होतो त्याला एक स्पेसिफिक लिमिट आहे. ठीक आहे, म्हणून रिबाउंड हॅमर ज्यावेळेस तुम्ही अप्लाय करताय, रिबाउंड हॅमरनी तुम्हाला स्ट्रेंथ भेटते, नो डाऊट. आय डोंट ऍग्री दॅट रिबाउंड हॅमरनी तुम्हाला स्ट्रेंथ भेटत नाही. ठीक आहे, बट थ्रू आउट अ कम्प्लीट स्ट्रेंथ ऑफ द होल स्ट्रक्चर वी कांट आयडेंटिफाय ओनली बाय युझिंग रिबाउंड हॅमर. ठीक आहे, मग याच्यापेक्षा रिबाउंड हॅमर पेक्षा अजून एक आपल्याकडे टेस्ट आहे. ठीक आहे, की ज्याला तुम्ही अल्ट्रासोनिक पल्स वेलोसिटी टेस्ट असं म्हटलं जातं. and I think I have given you the exposure in our previous subject, advanced concrete technology. I think I have taught you that subject na. So आपण if you remember in SOM lab we have conducted that practical. Okay, ultrasonic pulse velocity test. and how that test will help you to predict the quality of that particular concrete that we have discussed. Okay, because in ultrasonic test we are going to pass the ultrasonic waves through that particular concrete structure. Okay, and if you are having a dense concrete, then we are getting the higher values for that, because higher values for that ultrasonic waves. Because if you are having a dense concrete, then that waves will take so much time to travel. Okay, that is what been reflected, that will indicate yes, it's a dense and it's a good concrete that we are having. But if there are some honeycombing which has been present in that concrete surface, then that ultrasonic waves will pass suddenly. Okay, and I'm not going to go in detail for that stage, but just I want to give some highlights about this. What are the benefits of the ultrasonic the test, apart from the your rebound hammer test? Both are efficient and both will give the results, but ultrasonic will give much better, and we can predict more, we can predict accurate life or accuracy for the quality of that particular concrete as compared with your rebound concrete, huh? It is not like that rebound concrete is useless. Yes, it is very useful, it is very handy, we can predict the strength. But as compared with your ultrasonic pulse velocity test, that is less, I can say, will give the less results. Okay, because generally rebound hammer is generally used for the determining the surface hardness. Okay, okay. That is my opinion, and I hope everyone, every expert engineer, the site work engineer, they will definitely agree with me, with my opinions. So date of inspection we are going to look for, then date of performance of the repair work, if any you have done, then any cubes cast at the time of repair work साठी again, if you have casted any cube, that you can focus on. Then checklist for the cement mortar or the plastering. Uh, well, the next part that you are going to check. So construction of the components to be plastered, that you are going to check, that is construction of the components to be plastered is complete and approved. Okay, whether whatever the surface that you are going to plaster, whether it is a uh, inside wall, interior portion of the wall, or it is exterior portion of the wall. Okay, so whatever the component which is to be plastered is completed and it is approved. Yes, it is completed and now it is ready that you can apply the plastering on this particular part. Okay, so that you need to understand first, you need to get approval for that same. Then whether scaffolding is required and is provided and checked for the safety and accessibility. Scaffolding, whether scaffolding is required for the plastering work, yes, definitely. If you are working at a G+5 level, definitely you require scaffolding work. Okay, which is secure one, safe, which is the safety, which provides you maximum safety for you. Okay, so that you need to address. Samarth, if you are having any doubt, you can ask me before proceeding. I hope no doubt. Okay. So scaffolding at every floor level, whether it is provided for the plastering or for the painting work also, scaffolding is required. Okay. And safety we want to check for that particular. Then sand is properly screened free from excess silt and organic material. So whatever the sand that you are going to use it for the plastering work, it is properly screened and it is free from the dust or the silt or the organic material, that you need to check all the surfaces are clean and free from the loose materials. Next point, all the surfaces are made weight as per the specification. Okay. Then RCC surface hacked properly. One more thing. Okay. Hacking the surface. Hacking means proper bonding between your RCC surface and your brickwork wall. Okay. Then gap between the RCC and masonry is filled properly or not. Again, that you need to address that particular thing. Ensure the concealed services work have been completed. Then mortar is mixed as per the specified proportion. Waterproofing compound is mixed as per specified. The necessary arrangements are made for continuous curing. Then general cleaning has to be done. Whether general cleaning is done or not, that you need to focus on. then grooves to be provided wherever required. जिथे जिथे ग्रूव्स म्हणजे ज्याला खाचे किंवा त्याला टाचे मारणे असं म्हटलं जातं, ठीक आहे. देन लेवल्स आर टू बी व्हेरीफाईड. व्हेरी सिम्पल वन. लेवलचे कसे चेक करतात, बऱ्याचशा इंजिनियर्सला, ज्युनियर इंजिनियर्सला माहित नसतं लेवल कशी चेक करतात. ट्यूब लेवलने सुद्धा तुम्ही लेवल चेक करू शकता. एक ट्रान्सपरंट वॉटर पाण्याचा पाईप घ्या आणि त्याद्वारे तुम्ही ट्यूब लेवल चेक करू शकता. आय कॅन शो यू सम व्हिडिओज ऑल्सो how to check the levels. Okay, I can add in my upcoming few lectures, I can add some videos, YouTube videos, not from my side, from the internet, which are the best one for you. I can select and I will show you that videos, how to execute the work and how to check the levels also. Okay, I am having of my own work only photographs. Okay, I have taken some photographs when I have checked some levels and all that. And that is the older data. Now some updations are required for that set. So this is all about the cement mortar plastering. What points that you need to consider? Major focus, whether scaffolding is required, whether all the grooves are made, whether soil is proper, all whatever the sand which you are going to use is properly screened or not, whether all gaps are properly filled or not, whether our mortar is as per the specification or not. Okay, so as far as cement mortar plastering is considered, you need to focus on all such points. Huh? The next, checklist for the painting, that is internal and external. So we are having less than 1 minute to conclude this session. So before beginning with this checklist, uh, if you are having any doubt related to the previous part, you can discuss with me. You can put it in the chat box so that we can take it in our next lecture, okay, or in our next session. Please rejoin the session immediately as our this session ends up. Okay, please rejoin using the same link. Huh? Please rejoin using the same link because we are having less than 1 minute to conclude this session.